All right, guys. So, what I want us to take a look at today is Nessus Professional, right? I want you to start getting used to the way it is called in the industry, okay? Now, in the field of vulnerability management, when you study the life cycle of vulnerability management, the third phase of vulnerability management, the third phase talks about something called vulnerability assessment. So remember, what is a vulnerability? A vulnerability, most of the times we just call it a vuln. A vulnerability is a weakness, right? A bug. Sometimes I call it a misconfig on an asset, right? Let me specifically define on an application, on a server, on a system, on the network, right? That attackers can use to exploit, attackers can exploit to cause harm. All right, so that is what a vulnerability is. Every company, every piece of IT infrastructure has tens of thousands of vulnerabilities. All right, so that is why vulnerability management is important. It's important because we need to do an assessment that we call a vulnerability assessment. How do we do this assessment? One of the ways that we do an assessment is by scanning. And when we scan, we use specific technology, specific tools, right? There are specific vendors that own tools that are used in doing the vulnerability assessment, in doing the scanning. Again, let me backtrack a little bit. What is vulnerability assessment? Vulnerability assessment simply means identifying vulnerabilities on the company's or organization's IT infrastructure. All right. And how do you identify that? You identify that by scanning. And when you scan, what do you use? You use specific technologies. What kind of technologies? So there are three big, now four, there are four big names, in the industry, right? The first one is what we call Tenable. That is the most used, the most popular one. All right. Tenable has many different scanner types, right? You have what we call Tenable IO. You keep hearing me calling it IO because I'm used to that. The name just got changed only last year to Tenable Vulnerability Management. Okay, Tenable Vulnerability Management. And they also have something called Tenable Security Center. We just call it Tenable SC. All right. And then you have Tenable OT, Operational Technology. Tenable OT, it's designed to scan operational technology. When I talk of operational technology, those who've ever worked in maybe a warehouse before, right? You see these big equipment that are used to power activities and stuff like that. And operational technology could be SCADA systems in, electricity supply production companies, stuff like that. So that's operational technology. So there is a specific type of Tenable product called Tenable OT that is used for those kind of scans, right? Then you have what we're going to be installing right now called Tenable Nessus Professional. We just call it Pro, right? And then you have the Nessus agents, all right? Subsequently, I'm going to be explaining what Nessus agents are. But this is the first big name in the vulnerability assessment world, Tenable. Then another big name is called Qualys, right? And then you have what we call Rapid7. It has Insight, VM, and Nexpose. Then there's a big one that is coming, just released about 5 years ago, called Wiz, Wiz.io, but it's specialized in the cloud. So I'm going to be explaining in other discussions, what we mean by cloud in IT. So these are the big names, all right? Now, I want to go into the most popular one and show you how we can use this one called Nessus Professional, to do our scans. So at the level of your home, you can get, because this costs money. I think Tenable Nessus Professional, the last time I checked, one of the scanner costs $2,000, right? But because you may not have $2,000, let's use something that is close to the professional, which is the home edition called Essentials. All right. So let me get there. Let me go. Let me use this, right? So let me just go. I think I have that specific link. Let me go grab that link right now. That link should be somewhere in the chat, or I could just go and say download Nessus Essentials. All right, for Windows. Let me see if that gives me, okay, here we go, Nessus Essentials. So I could just put my name here, all right, and what email can I use? I think I've used a lot of emails that I don't think, let me see. Maybe that one is already used or something. All right, so that worked. Okay, so I just need to go here, download. I agree. All right, so that's it downloading up there. So once that download is complete, I just need to click on it. Once I click on it, it's going to open an installation wizard. All right, so that installation wizard is going to show me how I can go about stuff from start to the end. All right, so let me see if I can access that email right now. And because once you put your email in there, it is going to take you, the email is going to, okay, very good. So on the email was sent an activation code, right? So let me go back to my download and see if that download is completed right now. One moment, let me see. Okay, there we go. Let me share my screen again. That download is completed. So I just need to double click on it and I will be able to see the installation wizard. So here is the installation wizard. I just need to go to next. Now this is called End User License Agreement, EULA, right? Each time you want to download something or install something on your computer, a software, right? You see this always comes up, End User License Agreement. If you don't accept that, it's not going to let you install their software on your system. So that is what they're asking us right now. Do you want? Yes, I accept to the terms. But nobody ever reads all of that, right? So I'll just go to next and install. All right. So this is going to take a while to install. Now at this level, all right, so at this level, I am just going to wait for a little bit. All right, now you cannot see what has happened, but each time you're trying to install something on your computer, um, Microsoft is going to ask you, do you want this application to make changes on your device? We call that a UAC, user account control. All right. Now you cannot see that, but I can see it. Okay, so it's asking me, do you want this application to make changes on your computer? If I say no, it's not going to let me. But if I say yes, it's going to let me make those changes. So I just clicked on yes. That's why we're going to see that installation continue. All right, so it's going to run right through to the end. As soon as it completes, it is going to invoke a specific, it's going to take me to a specific browser where I will need to complete that installation process, right? So this is taking a little bit longer than I expected. Okay, so Nessus is a little bit, it takes a little bit while to completely install that. So what I'm going to do right now is I will just, okay, so at this point now, since that process is complete, I'm just going to click on finish, and you will see how that comes up on a web browser, right? So that invokes my web browser that is the default, which is Chrome. I just need to click on connect via SSL, all right? So this is telling me that this connection is private and may not be secure, but I know that it's secure, so I just go to continue. All right, proceed. All right, so this is just going to run through to the end. So it's initializing. So after this now, um, it's going to take me to a next step, and then I'm going to pick the specific product that I want from Tenable, whether it's Nessus Professional, whether it's Nessus Essentials, whatever, because everybody would want the free version to use to practice, right? We're going to pick Nessus Essentials. So we're going to pick Nessus Essentials. Okay, so at this stage, um, you just come here and click on continue. Then do not take Nessus Expert or Professional. You have to take
Sorry, this is where I made a mistake. This is where
Essentials. Yes,
this is this this is where I made a mistake. I
yeah.
chose to register online. That's why it was taking me. I just
Okay, I see. So this is what you have to pick, Nessus Essentials, right? So you go to continue. At this level, because we already put in our usernames and passwords and email, so we don't need that anymore. We just need to click on skip. So I'll go to the email and I copy this and then drop it in there, right? And I click on continue. So I'm just going to give it a username and password. And then I submit. I make sure not to forget that password. So The setup is now in progress, right? The whole setup is now in downloading the plugins. So at this level, you let it run right through to the end. Even if you close this browser, you come back to it, you put this URL, you're still going to be able to land on your Nessus Essentials. All right. So I think that is it.